Welcome to this exploration. Actually, before we even dive in, let's just take a breath together, a deep, grounding breath. Today, we aren't just looking at cold data or dry statistics. We're stepping into the intimate, wonderfully hidden landscapes of long-term relationships. So let the noise of the outside world just fade away for a bit as we take this journey inward. There's this really profound question. Why do the fortresses we build to protect our love so often end up locking the wildness outside? It's a beautifully introspective thought, isn't it? We build these secure lives, these safe, comfortable homes, and yet this vast, unspoken distance can quietly creep in between partners. We're holding a safe, entirely non-judgmental space today. We're just here to observe that distance, to understand it, and softly to begin healing it.
Part 1. The Silence of Winter. The quiet freezing of the marital landscape.
Just as the earth naturally turns away from the sun, physical intimacy sometimes wanes into a deep, silent winter. 20%. Experts generally define a sexless marriage as one where a couple shares 10 or fewer intimate encounters a year. And 20% of relationships find themselves walking right through this deep winter snow. The embers are fading, the hearth has simply grown cold. Now, this dynamic beautifully and, I'd say tragically, illustrates a really profound split in the human heart. Think about this. 75% of people report feeling generally satisfied in their shared life, a peaceful, functioning partnership. And yet, more than 50% are wandering through a completely barren, disconnected landscape when it comes to physical touch. It's like the house is incredibly sturdy, but the rooms inside are absolutely freezing. So, why does the frost set in? Well, we always begin with that ephemeral nectar of spring, that wild, intoxicating euphoria fueled by a little brain chemical called PEA. It surges through us like a river of joy. But nature dictates that this natural elixir fades after about 2 years. The spring dries up. To survive the sustained hearth of winter, we have to lean into conscious communication. The fire just doesn't burn on its own anymore. It has to be intentionally tended. Part 2. The Illusions of Fire. Seeking warmth in the cold. When we're starving for warmth, we often retreat into the shadows, picking up habits that offer only the illusion of light. Get this, 10% of people actually check their phones during intimacy, and 35% check them immediately after. We stay perfectly tethered to the endless buzzing noise of the internet, while completely severing the spiritual and physical tether to the lover breathing right beside us. And internet pornography, that's another phantom fire. It's this global, instantly accessible illusion that really mimics the warmth of a true hearth. But honestly, it's an empty fire. It teaches absolutely nothing of the soul's intimacy. It leaves boys, men, and their partners completely starving for genuine soulful connection. Sometimes the search for warmth leads entirely outside the home. And we really need to look at this, like the DRD4 gene and infidelity in general, not with harsh clinical judgment, but as a deeply misguided quest. It's the biological echo of the wanderer, a desperate attempt to turn that euphoric love drug back on, trying to reignite the lost nectar of early love with a perfect cocktail of high stakes and high rewards. Part 3. The Wisdom of the Body. The Landscape's Plea for Truth. Let's step into a profoundly sacred space here. We have to stop viewing our physical struggles as just broken mechanics. Erectile dysfunction, for example, is literally the canary in the coal mine. When the physical body falters, it isn't just an isolated failure. It's so often the heart's urgent whisper, a warning of deeper vascular exhaustion or profound emotional blockages. The body, it never lies to us. And just consider the heavy, exhausting stones we carry every single day. Working in and out of the home, raising growing children, caring for aging parents. We walk this incredibly heavy path daily. Is it any wonder that at the end of the day, partners are left with absolutely nothing but weariness? The vital soil of our energy is simply depleted. Plus, our bodies experience a natural shifting of internal seasons, hormonal shifts, breastfeeding, the transition into menopause, bringing changes like vaginal dryness. These aren't flaws. They aren't failures. They are just the natural transitions of a living, breathing organism. They require tender care, gentle treatments, and patience. Not shame, never shame. Part 4. Welcoming our shadows. Walking into the dark forest of our past. To let love flow freely again, sometimes we must softly, bravely walk into the dark forest of our past.
Healing from sexual abuse, for instance, takes a lifetime. So many of us carry profound, unhealed trauma into the marital bed. We have to honor this pain. It requires immense grace. It requires a patience that spans decades, gently holding space to heal that wounded inner child. There's also the heavy cloak of old inherited guilt, those fear-based teachings from our youth that drape us in a deep, chilling shame. We're falsely convinced that our natural desires, our innate bodily joy, is somehow dirty or something to be hidden and feared. We really must learn to shed this heavy cloak. Because if we don't, we face true loneliness. The ultimate cost of a disconnected marriage is an internal desolation. It physically restricts your blood vessels. It elevates your blood pressure. This deep, quiet isolation breaks the heart and harms the body more deeply than obesity or excessive alcohol. It literally shortens our time on this earth.
Part 5. The Awakening of Spring, Thawing the Frozen Earth.
But listen, the winter does not have to last forever. Let's move into the light of healing. The seasons of intimacy are eternal. While into your 80s and 90s, if you're healthy, your physical connection is capable of blooming beautifully, vibrantly, all the way into the twilight years of your life. The tree can always bear new fruit. So how do we actually begin the thaw? Well, the mind is the vastest landscape of all. Your brain is literally your largest organ of connection. Cultivate fantasy. Cultivate your imagination. Allow your mind to wander and dream, to breathe oxygen right back into that inner fire. We can plant simple, gentle, daily rituals. Little seeds for the new spring. Disconnect from those digital illusions. Move your body daily to awaken the blood flow. Honor the shifting seasons of your age. And perhaps most importantly, seek a guide, a trusted therapist to help you navigate those shadows. Plant these seeds in the thawing soil of your relationship. And finally, return to the bare, unshielded truth. There is profound, beautiful wisdom in settling your marital storms in the vulnerability of physical nakedness. Strip away the defenses. Take off the armor you've worn all day. Stand in your bare truth and just find each other again in the quiet. So, I'll leave you with this thought to carry with you. What small, courageous seed will you plant in the quiet winter of your relationship today? Because you have the power to initiate the emotional spring. You have the power to tend the fire. Thank you so much for walking through this landscape with me. May your hearth grow warm again.